Oh, my beautiful Gemmies. I don't know what you did. I don't know what I did. Y'all know my sun is in Gemini. I think you were finally being you and you broke something through because these stars are aligning and this tarot reading too. And what I'm getting is that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And that was just for a lot of you to be happy. That was it. And it's broken through to be able to bring you some things, to be able to bring you your heart's desire, to be able to bring you your dreams. Like, I don't know why people say, some people have had, where I've said Geminis have luck like nobody's business, and they're saying they don't. They have luck like nobody's business. Like, nobody's business. Like, I feel like you did something that I feel like you didn't realize what you did. That's what I feel like. I feel like you didn't realize what you've done to be able to break the gates open. Like, I know you've worked hard, but I think you were in one area and you were actually releasing another area. Does that make sense? So I'm sorry. Welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, mediumship, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So my gorgeous, sweet Jimmies, I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for me. I know a lot of you have been having some fun and sort of went, you were working a lot and then you were just sort of, were trying to find that happiness, that sweetness that you used to have, right? And so you really, I don't know what happened. Like, it's different for a lot of people, but it's almost like you just gave up and relaxed and were like, you know what? It's gonna be what it's gonna freaking be, right? And when you did that, I think you broke through somehow. So, um, I want to first say that this is going to be a very short video. I am going to do the extended video on my website. This is a way that you can support me. I want to start doing more videos on YouTube and put more time into YouTube because I'm growing this channel, because I'm growing like you guys are growing. And so this is sort of a way to support me. So if you could go watch those extended videos, they're for download. They're only $2.99. I did separate them, doing the astrology and then the tarot in two different videos. They'll be at the they'll be in a, either, everything I talk about is either going to be right here, the eye icon, or down below in the description box as a link, or at the end of this video. Okay, so if you could do that, I would appreciate it. It will help me be able to have the time to do more videos. So let's talk about this chart first, and I'm really excited about this tarot reading. So, we've had so many things in retrograde, right? And so it hasn't been feeling well. Maybe you weren't feeling well. Maybe you're not feeling well now, but maybe you're feeling a little better, because I know you guys have you guys are, Geminis are extremely psychic and empathic, okay? Or you can call it intuitive if you want. But you're very psychic, you're very empathic, you're very at one with the earth like that, and so you can feel, or humanity, so you can feel when the energy feels better. So you guys may have started or begun to feel better. That's because we're sort of moving into the space where all the personal planets are going to go direct. Mercury has now gone direct. And so by the 6th of September, all the personal planets are going to go direct. So, just to sum up, Mercury's gone direct on the 19th, or the 18th for some of you. And Mercury is your ruling planet, so yes, there were some things that you weren't feeling right, and some things weren't going through, and some things where you were processing, and all of that. But you guys are used to handling Mercury retrograde, so I don't feel like it was a big deal. Like, you've had these other aspects that were much more of a big deal. So Mercury going retrograde was not that big a deal for you. And that's not for everybody, but this is the general energy, right? And so Mars on the 28th is going to go direct as well. So Mars on the 28th. So this is you, Jemmy, right? Sagittarius is your 7th. Mars going direct is going to be in your 8th house of shared resources, okay? So this is a big house for you right now. This is a really big house for you, for your life purpose, for what you're wanting to do, for how you're wanting to live your life. It has to do with either some of you are in the midst of bringing that person in. You've had this person for a while, but making it that next level where you have shared resources, right? Saturn been retrograde in there, Pluto's retrograde in there, Mars was retrograde. Now Mars is gone direct, or will be going direct on the 28th of August, right? So again, this is clearing up whether it was, some of you are dealing with life partners, some of you are dealing with business partners, some of you are dealing with somebody that you share resources with. It could be a bank, could be loan, could be grant, could be something like that you've been working really hard on, trying to receive this or trying to make this go through. And so whatever you're dealing with in mid-May, and that was kind of our birthdays, mid-May to mid-June, whatever you came up prominently in this is going to begin to now resolve, right? So this stuff will resolve by October, the 1st of October. But for some of us, it'll resolve at the end of September, right? It just sort of starts resolving. It's not done yet, but we are getting there. Okay, so let's move to September 6th, which is the date that I have on here. So September 6th, that was just a recap of August, the ending. And so September 6th, this is when all personal planets go direct, right? And so Saturn goes direct, and so that means on the 6th when Saturn goes direct, this 8th house, Saturn is direct, Jupiter's direct, Venus is direct, the Sun, of course, Mercury's direct, all of this, like the Moon, of course. So you still have Pluto direct, the outer planets, the kind of outer energy, the bigger global sort of underlying energy for us. We still have lessons we're learning. We still have things we're doing, right? So we haven't finished that part. We've still got some adjusting and mending and all of that, right? But this is why you're feeling better. And by the 6th, this house that has not been producing, that you have been working very hard in, that you have been trying all kinds of crap in, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse, because I'm doing these videos on my website where I can curse, and I'm doing them on YouTube where I can't. So, where all this stuff hasn't been going through, maybe you didn't get the loan, maybe the clients aren't coming in, maybe da-da-da-da-da, maybe whatever. Like, it's just, maybe the insurance company, you were having trouble with that, getting that thing, or whatever this was, or maybe you and your partner were trying to figure stuff out, and maybe he or she was taking more, maybe you were taking more, whatever. Something wasn't coming through. You were having to work really hard. Saturn, I call him Big Daddy Saturn. I love Saturn. I know a lot of people don't like Saturn, but I love Saturn. It's because Saturn has my hopes and dreams. Saturn has your hopes and dreams. He has mine too. So I call him Big Daddy Saturn because he's the authority figure. He's got your hopes and dreams. He's going to make you work hard. But I see him, because it's weird how I see planet, or the energies. I see him like, come on, baby, you can do this. Come on, keep your eye on the prize. Come on, come a little closer. Keep it going. Keep working. Like, that's Daddy Saturn. But let me tell you what, when Daddy Saturn produces, he is going to produce way more. He's going to give you way more than you thought. That's just how he is. He's like that father figure, that authority figure. They love you so much. And when you're doing what it is that you came here to do, what you wanted to experience, what you wanted to grow in, he's going to, like, bless you with these big things, right? Well, he's just started, because he just went direct. So we got 2019, 2020, like, you're about to be on a roll. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know what happened, that you just, like, all of a sudden, things are going to be popping in for you. Things are going to be working. Things are going to, like, in September, a lot of things are going to be going on. So, Mercury on the 6th also is going into Virgo, right? So, Mercury, your ruling planet, and Virgo's ruling planet, which is going to be very, very potent for you, is in this house. I'm not going to talk too much about the houses or the aspects, but I do want to let you know that this is going to be very grounding, very earthy, very stable, right? And so if you want to know about if you want to know about all that, I'll talk about it in my other video. But this is very stable energy. And Mercury's going in there. You know, Mercury's the messenger. He's got something to say. He's got something to give you, right? And so does Daddy Saturn. Daddy Saturn wants to give you something in this house. He's going to just start to produce for you. Just start. Like, I'm telling you, he's got way more. Okay, so that's what's going on the 6th of September. on the 9th, again, I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm so excited for you guys. So on the 9th, this house is going to be very activated for you. So on the 9th, you have this new moon. New moon means new starts. You got new starts, being very grounded, earthy, stable, comfortable, right? That's new moon, Virgo energy. Virgo is about cleaning up. Virgo is about organizing. Virgo is about getting that mess out and getting it right, right? That's Virgo. But Virgo is very loving, very healing. Virgo is a very healing sign. And so there's a lot of healing going on here. But you have new beginnings. Then, on that same day, Venus has moved into Scorpio. So Venus moving into Scorpio, this is in the area of your daily life. This is in the area of your health and well-being. And this is a big house. And with Jupiter in there and Venus moving in there, Venus is the planet of love, luck, and money. Venus wants to bring you love, luck, and money. Jupiter is the guru. Jupiter wants to expand this house. Jupiter wants to make this house bigger. Jupiter wants to make your daily life bigger, your health and well-being bigger, right? And again, I'll go more into that in the extended video. So that's what's going to be going on the 9th. So you've got these new beginnings. You've got some stuff coming. I'm telling you, you got some stuff coming. I know things hadn't been working right, and it was almost like the energy was so tight that you were like, I can't. I'm just going to go over here and play. And it was when you did that, I think that you broke through. That's just so Gemini. I love it, though. I love it. Good for you. So on the 11th, now I'm not saying you weren't working. I'm saying some of you were working, but you relaxed the energy where you sort of just were like, I just can't anymore. And that is what did it. You needed to be in your Gemini fun, lighter self. That's what needed to happen. You needed to stop trying to control it. That's what I just heard. Okay, so on the 11th, this is when Mars is going into Aquarius. So this thing that you've been dealing with shared resources, this thing is going to start resolving. So it's almost like you might come to this point where you're like, I thought it was finished, but there's this one more thing and I don't know what to do about it. And then when it moves into Aquarius, it's like you get this inspiration, or they come through with something, and it's something very different than you've done it before because it's Aquarius, okay? So whatever this is going to finish out different than you thought it would. No, it could finish out the same way that you thought it would, just in a very different way than you thought it would. We'll say that, okay? So that's on the 11th. Now, Mars is going to be in Aqua until November. So you're going to have, it's going to be very prominent. There's going to be a lot of energy in this, in your, well, Gemini, you love to research. So this house is about researching, right? So you'll see that you'll have a lot of energy and a lot of stuff going on in this house while Mars is in there. Okay, so then on the 23rd, so let's look at the 23rd. So then on the 23rd, that's when the Sun enters Libra, and Mercury's going into Libra too, right? So the Sun and Mercury are in Libra. This is in your 5th house of creativity and love affairs, right? The Sun likes to clear things up. Mercury wants to bring a message. So you could be meeting somebody if you're ready. This could be about dating. This could be about your creativity, some maybe new clients, maybe a new business partner, maybe a new project, maybe something new that you had been creating with your own business, right? Maybe it's a new position in your company. Whatever this is going to be very balanced. And by balanced, I mean two things. So the first thing I mean, because this is what I'm seeing, is that if you hadn't got anything, if you'd been skipped over, if nothing was working, it is now going to be it's got to even out and balance, and everybody gets what they want. That means that means things are going to start coming through, okay? The other thing would mean if you, and I was talking about work, but in love, if it hadn't been working and you weren't seeing anybody and you were sort of getting frustrated or nothing was coming through or nobody was coming through, now may be the time for that's going to be happening. Okay, so that's going to be on the 23rd. So on the 25th, And again, I'll talk about the aspects, like these sextiles and these trines. We've got these beautiful trines. Yes, we have these. Yes, we have these challenges, these tests, these squares, but we've got these things going on too. So, on the 25th, the full moon is in Libra, right? And so, I mean, Libra, sorry. I was just looking at Libra. The full moon is in Aries, right? And so there's going to be something that maybe you weren't paying attention to, maybe wasn't going through, maybe you didn't see very clearly. And so when this full moon comes about in Aries, Aries is about me, me, me. Aries is about getting what they want and getting stuff done, right? And so this has to do with your groups and supporting your 10th house, which is your health and, which is health and well-being, which is your life purpose, which is your career. So there's something going to be shown to you. There's something that, so when a full moon comes about, it could be about letting go of what no longer serves you. But if you've been clearing and you have within these, we just had this lunar eclipse and solar eclipse, and so you've been clearing. So when that happens, this could be about manifestation, destiny, fate coming and stepping in. Like I said, this has to do with this being cleared up, this being balanced, you getting that position, you getting noticed, things going your way finally, you know? So something's going to go on here. I am going to have a full moon and a new moon video. So just pay attention. This has to do with your networking and your groups. Okay, and it's the house of gains. Even though, like, this is the full moon, if you've already been working and clearing your field and letting go and releasing, then this could be about fate and destiny and manifestation. Okay, so last thing is on the 29th. I did want to mention this one thing. So on the 29th, we have Venus, who loves to produce love, luck, or money, and Jupiter, who these two can produce big things. These two can produce a lot of good things on their own, right? And so as I'm looking at the charts, I'm wanting them to conjunct, which means they can speak to each other, and then because when they get close together, they're going to produce something big for you, right? Well, as I'm looking, this is the closest point that they're going to get to before Venus begins to stop and then retrograde, right? And so before it begins to retrograde, this is the closest they're going to get to. So my conjuncts are between 5 and 8 degrees. I don't like them any more than that because that's when they really produce 8 degrees at the most. But when I look at these two and I'm looking at their energy, it's almost like they're talking to each other and they're trying to give you something. And you know how when you're talking to somebody and they don't have a good connection and you're like, and then and so you're getting part of the message but not all the message. That's kind of how I feel like they're having this conversation. And so what does that mean for you? What that means for you is that you may be getting a sneak peek as to what's coming in November and December, something big. Okay, so be aware from the 28th through the 1st. It kind of depends on your chart where you're at. You know, everybody has their own chart. But this is that energy of, for me, it's like a sneak peek. It's like they're trying to talk to each other, they're trying to get you something, and they're almost going to so you might get like a message, you might get an inclination, you might get something about what's coming up in your daily life. This is like your daily life is going to change. Something big's coming in there, okay? So, again, it's just a sneak peek. Yeah, it's just a sneak peek, but that's kind of what I wanted to mention to everybody. All right, so that's all for Gemini. So let's look, for your astrology. So let's look at this tarot reading. Goodness, I have not seen this in a while. All right. So, in your first position, this is you in the month of September. Look at you. First of all, look at these cards. Dang. So this is you in the month of September, the King of Coins. You guys know the King and the Queen, they're not gender specific for me. This is about the character. This King or Queen This king is very focused. This king attains what he wants. This king has comfort and security and happiness and joy and just very methodical in what they do, and they don't do without. They just don't. They don't have to. They know how to manifest. They know how to bring things. They know how to work hard. And they have this relaxed sort of stance. So you have money coming to you, you have comfort coming to you, you have security coming to you. Some of you may have already begun to feel that way through you trying to manifest something. Or again, I feel like a lot of you were just like, I can't curse, but a lot of you were just like, whatever, I'm going to go do this because I'm tired. I'm tired of this not coming through. I'm tired of not working. I'm going to come over here and play. And that's what I feel like that broke you through to get to this place in September. Now, very interesting because these are all very high cards for me. And then you have this as Spirit's advice, right? And so I really had to meditate about this. So this is the Nine of Swords. This is their advice. So the Nine of Swords is about this woman feeling so overwhelmed. Like, this has to do with way back in the old days when a woman lost her husband, lost her brother, lost her father, had nothing, was left with nothing. And so she was thrust into the world where she didn't, the property couldn't be hers because she was a woman. Anything that was left couldn't be hers because she was a woman. So she had to make her way, and it became very overwhelming. And so she had to, through a lot of losses, she had to understand her ego and, not being too one way where I'm just going to be so alpha that I'm going to be out there and I just got to do what I got to do and da-da-da-da-da, and then lost her soft-heartedness, right? And so this card is about that. The Nine of Swords is about really admitting to yourself that maybe you do want abundance, that maybe you do want a life partner, that maybe you do want this type of life, that maybe you do, and that you're okay having to bring somebody in your life and maybe lean on them a little bit. Like, you don't have to do this alone. That's the advice. The advice is that you don't have to do this alone. That you can have the world that you want. That even though you've worked very hard, you are going to attain these things physically. If you are not there emotionally, by the time that you have your millions, if you still have your heart closed and you're not engaging in life and you're not being honest with yourself, then you're just going to be at the top of the mountain with all these things by yourself. And I'm not talking about just a love partner. I'm talking about your friends and your family and these acquaintances and these people around you, right? And so that's the message I'm getting from Spirit, is that it's time to start filling your heart. It's time to start, instead of trying to find your joy, understand that you've always had it. Does that make sense? It's right there with you. You just have to engage in it more. That's it. So don't get to where you're feeling overwhelmed, where you're feeling like poor me, where you're feeling like how much harder am I going to work, where you're going to, if you want to be alone, it's okay. If you want somebody to lean on, it's okay. Right? And this card is also about, there are some things that you have tried over and over and over, and maybe it's time to take an honest look at this, because maybe it's time to let that go. Because there's something, you've told the universe what you wanted, they're trying to get you there. Okay? So, in this position, this is your fate, your destiny. This is what's coming in the month of September. You have the Wheel of Fortune. That's one of the highest cards for me. The other highest card is the Ten of Pentacles, and the other one is the Sun. So there are three. The Sun, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. This is on your destiny. This is on your path. This is on your fate. This is fate for you. You are coming into those things that you saw, those things that you worked hard for. You've broken through. It's coming in September, but it doesn't just stop in September. I'm telling you, 2019, 2020, I mean, from this point on, yeah, are we going to have ups and downs? Sure, but it's not like it was, because you cleared, because you're working, because you got focused, because then you relaxed, right? You have these things coming. Congratulations. Like, not only are you here, you're here. There's some things you have to let go of. There's some things you cannot control. And there's happiness that's right there. Comfort that's right there. Security that's right there. Engagement, love. Like, it's right there. Don't miss out because you're so focused on trying to get to the next thing. So, what will you be dealing with in the month of September? Look at this Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. I can't even say it. This Queen of Pentacles. You are coming into a time of security. You're coming into a time of stability. You're coming into a time of money. You're coming into a time of love. You're coming into a time of partnership. You're coming into this time. These two are all about long-term stability, comfort, opulence, the things that you saw for yourself, the things that you know to be true for you. You're coming into this time. You will be dealing with that in the month of September. If it no longer serves you, let go. If a situation or relationship is coming towards you, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself first. You owe yourself that. To either let it go or move it forward. But not to stay in the middle and not to be like, well, I'll just wait till they do it. Or, well, maybe they'll kind of, and, that's kind of what I'm seeing in relationships for you guys. Like, be honest. Be honest with yourself. And then be honest with them. Right? So, I am so excited and happy. Don't get caught up in being in your head and thinking it's like, well, if they just kind of do this, or if that person just does this, or if that situation just gets this way. No. Relax. You've done it. You've already done it. It's all yours. So, my gorgeous ones, I love you, love you, love you. Congratulations. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And you can go download the extended videos to support me if you'd like. Bye.